the Great Pyramid of Giza. For thousands of years, we've accepted a straightforward explanation. Pharaoh Khufu commissioned this monumental structure as his eternal resting place, built by tens of thousands of workers in roughly 2 decades using nothing more than copper tools, ropes, and unwavering determination. But here's where things get complicated. Almost everything we think we know about the pyramids isn't based on hard evidence. It's based on assumptions, educated guesses at best. So what if the official narrative isn't just incomplete, but intentionally concealed? At the center of this mystery sits one individual, Dr. Zahi Hawass, arguably Egypt's most influential archaeologist. For decades, Hawass has controlled excavations, discoveries, and secrets buried beneath the sands. He's held positions like Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, giving him unprecedented authority over who gets permission to dig, what research gets conducted, and ultimately, which discoveries become public knowledge. But here's what's troubling. Instead of welcoming fresh perspectives and groundbreaking research, Hawass has repeatedly blocked independent investigations and silenced alternative theories, particularly those challenging the established historical narrative he's worked to protect. Because most of what's written about pyramids in archaeology books isn't entirely accurate. Most of it. Really, most of it. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but why has Hawass fought so hard to prevent certain investigations? Why shut down research at the precise moment when discoveries could reshape human history? Is he safeguarding Egypt's cultural treasures? Or is he protecting something else entirely? If you've ever felt skeptical about the conventional pyramid story, keep watching. Because tonight, we're examining evidence that has confused scientists, frustrated researchers, and left experts without satisfactory explanations. From chambers sealed for millennia to stonework so precise it baffles modern engineers. The truth behind this monument is far stranger and far older than mainstream archaeology acknowledges. Could the Great Pyramid truly have been constructed using basic hand tools, ropes, and wooden rollers? Or does it reveal the existence of ancient technology we haven't yet comprehended? Who actually built it? And what was their true purpose? Tonight, we'll uncover hidden layers of secrecy, challenge the gatekeepers of historical truth, and expose evidence hidden in plain sight. Because sometimes history's most profound secrets aren't lost. They're deliberately buried by those who prefer you never ask questions. When we think about ancient Egypt, we imagine golden treasures, intricate hieroglyphics, and the iconic Great Pyramid emerging from desert sands. We're told this remarkable structure was built around 2550 BC by Pharaoh Khufu as an elaborate tomb constructed by thousands of workers using only primitive hand tools. Superficially, this sounds like an impressive example of ancient human capability. But here's the problem. The more carefully you examine it, the less convincing this explanation becomes. There's surprisingly little solid evidence supporting this popular historical version. Many of our assumptions might rest on unstable foundations. Could we have fundamentally misunderstood who constructed the Great Pyramid and how they achieved such an astonishing feat? Consider something surprising. Despite the pyramid's immense historical significance, there aren't any definitive inscriptions from Khufu's era explicitly claiming he built it. Ancient Egyptians meticulously documented virtually everything: daily routines, religious ceremonies, significant royal accomplishments. Yet strangely, they left behind no unambiguous records about constructing their most impressive monument. Archaeologists occasionally reference faint markings found deep within hidden chambers, but these were discovered hundreds of years after initial exploration, making their authenticity questionable. After all, a name appearing on a structure doesn't necessarily prove its builder. One of the most troubling inconsistencies concerns the pyramid's actual purpose. Official Egyptology consistently insists the pyramid was constructed as Pharaoh Khufu's royal tomb. Yet unlike every other known Egyptian royal burial site, the Great Pyramid contains no inscriptions celebrating Khufu, no decorative treasures, no precious grave goods, and crucially, no remains of Khufu himself. A genuine royal burial chamber would typically feature elaborate inscriptions, funerary artifacts, and treasures. None of these appear in the Great Pyramid. This striking absence raises an urgent question. Was the pyramid's purpose something fundamentally different from what historians have traditionally assumed? An even more perplexing mystery involves the pyramid's extraordinary precision and complexity. Modern engineers marvel at how the Great Pyramid aligns with true north, accurate to fractions of a degree. Inside, massive granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each show evidence of advanced machining and intricate drilling that seems impossibly sophisticated for what historians claim ancient Egyptians could achieve with simple copper chisels. Engineer Christopher Dunn carefully examined these granite blocks, documenting perfectly cylindrical drill holes and remarkably precise cuts. Such features would be extremely difficult, perhaps impossible, to replicate using primitive methods. Recent experiments by modern researchers attempting to duplicate these cuts with copper chisels have failed. Their tools wore down quickly, and they made barely measurable progress even after days of effort. Here's the obvious question. If contemporary technology struggles with these tasks, how did ancient builders accomplish such precision thousands of years ago? Perhaps it shouldn't be taken for granted. An equally puzzling detail involves the pyramid's intricate internal passages and chambers. To construct such complex structures, workers would need dependable lighting to navigate clearly. Historians typically suggest torches or oil lamps provided illumination. Yet examinations of these chambers and tunnels reveal something astonishing. No traces of soot, smoke residue, or scorch marks anywhere on ceilings or walls. Torches would inevitably leave such marks. The complete absence raises fascinating questions. Could pyramid builders have possessed advanced lighting technology? Or does this hint at a completely different construction methodology? These discoveries suggest an intriguing possibility. The pyramid's original builders may have possessed knowledge and technology far surpassing what mainstream historians currently acknowledge. Yet rather than exploring these possibilities openly, mainstream archaeology, particularly under Hawas's leadership, has strongly defended conventional historical narratives. Independent researchers like Robert Bauval, who proposed that the pyramids align with Orion's belt, as it appeared thousands of years before Khufu, encountered significant resistance. Researchers like Robert Schoch and John Anthony West discovered geological evidence suggesting extensive water erosion around the Great Sphinx, implying an age far older than conventional timelines suggest. West documented that unusual weathering patterns at the Sphinx's base resulted from heavy rainfall and flowing water, not wind or sand erosion, as most Egyptologists claim. The surrounding pit exhibits different erosional patterns, typically caused by torrential downpours and rainwater. Here's the mystery. The Sahara Desert had sufficient rainfall to cause this level of water erosion over 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. Even accounting for subsequent repairs from water damage, a fundamental question remains. When did water exist in what is now desert? The answer is surprising. Approximately 12,000 years ago, right at the end of the last ice age. This timeline suggests the Sphinx might have been built by a much older civilization, long before ancient Egypt as we know it existed. West developed his theory carefully. Imagine that long ago, before the Sahara became desert, the Giza plateau was a fertile savanna. At its edge stood a large natural rock outcrop. Unknown sculptors, taking advantage of its prominent position, carved it into a giant face. Perhaps it represented a god or a lion. Possibly the Egyptians simply modified something already ancient, a relic from a forgotten era. As time passed, shifting weather brought torrential rains, signalling the Ice Age's conclusion. These rains weathered the lion to approximately its current shape. When rainfall ceased, the once fertile savanna transformed into desert. Wind-blown sands buried the statue for thousands of years. protecting the body and preserving evidence of water weathering. Possibly it was recarved. The 4th dynasty pharaohs who built the pyramids around 2500 BC likely discovered the Sphinx and further fashioned the face in their image. Pharaoh Khafra didn't build the Sphinx, he restored it. Despite this explanation being supported by solid science and representing the most convincing theory we currently possess, mainstream Egyptologists continue rejecting or ignoring it. Surprisingly, they haven't provided many alternative explanations either, leaving this compelling puzzle about the Sphinx's true age unsolved. West's discovery raised important questions. In debates, geologists sided with West, while Egyptologists offered few substantive responses to his conclusions. West represents an academic nightmare, someone thoroughly researched, well-presented, coherently described, beautifully written, and full of data you cannot refute. How do established academics respond? They ignore it, they hope it disappears, but it won't disappear. This raises a critical question. Why such resistance to exploring alternative possibilities? Is the hesitation genuinely about protecting Egypt's cultural heritage, or about preserving professional reputations, academic traditions, or national pride? If nothing extraordinary exists beneath Egypt's sands, why such persistent secrecy and reluctance to investigate? Perhaps advanced technology lies hidden within the pyramid. Technology capable of fundamentally altering our understanding of ancient civilizations, challenging everything we assumed about humanity's past. The mystery deepens when we examine what lies inside the pyramid. Usually, we hear about just a few chambers: the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, and connecting passages. Yet recent discoveries reveal something remarkable. The pyramid might conceal far more than historians realized. Back in the early 1990s, German engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink explored narrow tunnels inside the Queen's chamber. Experts believed these were purely symbolic, leading nowhere. Using a robotic camera guided through these tight passages, he discovered something extraordinary: a mysterious limestone door fitted precisely into the tunnel, complete with 2 small copper handles. This discovery, nicknamed Gantenbrink's door, captivated the world. Metal fittings like copper handles had never been found elsewhere inside the pyramid, suggesting this door protected something important. But as Gantenbrink's team prepared to discover what lay behind it, Egyptian authorities suddenly halted their investigation without clear explanation. After nearly a decade of public anticipation, in 2002, another team sponsored by National Geographic returned. They drilled a small hole through Gantenbrink's door, encountering another sealed limestone slab directly behind it. That second door remains unexplored to this day. Despite repeated requests from researchers worldwide, further investigation has been consistently denied by Egyptian authorities. This sudden resistance at such a crucial moment raises an obvious question. What's behind this persistent caution? Are officials genuinely protecting ancient treasures, or is something else being kept hidden? Then in 2017, the intrigue deepened significantly. International scientists employed cutting-edge technology called muon radiography, advanced cosmic ray scanning, to examine the pyramid's interior without disturbing it. The results were astonishing. They discovered an enormous hidden void located directly above the Grand Gallery, a massive, previously unknown chamber large enough to rival all known rooms within the pyramid. Yet there's no visible entrance, and no one understands its purpose. Scientists immediately called this one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in decades. Yet again, requests for deeper exploration have been consistently denied by Egyptian authorities, citing vague concerns about safety and preservation. Beyond hidden chambers and sealed passages, physical evidence inside the pyramid challenges traditional views. Researchers, including engineer Christopher Dunn, have meticulously documented markings clearly showing evidence of advanced tooling. Dunn studied granite blocks in the king's chamber, noting perfectly drilled holes and precision marks consistent with advanced machinery far beyond simple copper chisels. Granite represents one of Earth's hardest stones. Basic ancient tools would rapidly wear out or break entirely. How exactly could ancient builders achieve this thousands of years ago? All these strange findings, hidden chambers, mysterious doors, precision toolwork, suggest something remarkable. Perhaps pyramid builders possessed advanced technology, or maybe they inherited knowledge from a much older civilization lost to history. Yet despite these possibilities, mainstream archaeology maintains a cautious, even defensive approach to further exploration. While archaeologists may genuinely worry about protecting Egypt's heritage from sensationalism, this caution may unintentionally prevent us from discovering vital truths. We're left with several compelling mysteries. What secrets lie behind those sealed limestone doors? What purpose does the massive hidden chamber discovered in 2017 serve? Could exploring these hidden spaces finally reveal who truly built the Great Pyramid and how they accomplished this feat? With so many mysteries still hidden within the pyramid, one person stands between us and answers: Dr. Zahi Hawass. His decisions have shaped not only what the public knows about ancient Egypt, but more importantly, what remains unknown. For decades, Hawass has dominated Egyptian archaeology. Charismatic and fiercely protective of Egypt's cultural heritage, his positions gave him unparalleled control over who receives permission to dig, what research gets conducted, and which discoveries become public. But behind his passionate promotion lies a darker reality, a rigid, secretive system consistently blocking researchers attempting to challenge established narratives. Supporters might argue Hawass simply safeguards Egypt's priceless treasures from speculative theories. But consider another possibility. Could Hawass's strict regulations intentionally keep certain truths hidden, preserving comfortable historical narratives and protecting professional reputations and national pride? By carefully deciding who can research and precisely what can be revealed, Hawass has positioned himself as the ultimate gatekeeper of Egyptian history, possibly silencing discoveries capable of rewriting our understanding of the ancient world. Hawass's legacy is complicated. He's passionately promoted Egyptian culture, dramatically raising Egypt's global profile. But this influence may have cost us dearly. His restrictive policies might unintentionally or deliberately have prevented critical exploration, leaving crucial truths about ancient Egypt still buried beneath sands. This leaves us with a troubling question. Is Dr. Zahi Hawass genuinely protecting Egypt's heritage, or is he guarding secrets that could rewrite history entirely? Until Egyptian archaeology embraces genuine transparency, we may never know exactly what's hidden behind those carefully guarded doors. With these questions lingering, let's explore alternative theories that mainstream archaeology seems reluctant to discuss. Independent researchers have discovered compelling evidence challenging the official story. Earlier, we mentioned discoveries on the Sphinx suggesting its origins stretch far beyond accepted timelines, potentially linked to older, forgotten civilizations. Building on this possibility is Robert Bauval's remarkable Orion correlation theory. Bauval noticed something extraordinary. The three main pyramids at Giza perfectly mirror Orion's belt, but not as it appeared during Khufu's reign. Instead, their alignment precisely matches the constellation's position around 10,500 BC, thousands of years earlier than traditional history accepts. This seems unlikely to be coincidence. Orion held deep significance in ancient Egyptian culture, symbolizing the god Osiris, ruler of the afterlife, rebirth, and eternal cycles. If Bauval's theory holds true, pyramid builders possessed sophisticated astronomical understanding, deliberately encoding celestial meaning into monuments. This represents knowledge historians believe ancient Egyptians simply didn't possess. Taking things further, some researchers suggest Egypt's impressive monuments actually connect to much older lost civilizations with advanced technology and skills far surpassing anything historians recognize. Engineer Christopher Dunn examined granite blocks inside the Great Pyramid and discovered evidence of precise drilling marks and advanced tool cuts primitive copper chisels couldn't produce. Granite is incredibly hard, and even with modern hand tools, such cuts would be complicated. Could ancient Egyptians really have managed such intricate craftsmanship with basic tools? Or were they assisted by technologies from another civilization entirely? Another puzzling inconsistency surrounds how Egyptians transported enormous granite blocks to the pyramid site. Some massive stones weigh up to 80 tons, sourced over 500 meters away. Mainstream historians provide no convincing explanation for how ancient Egyptians moved these immense stones across vast distances without wheels or advanced machinery. Even today, transporting stones this size presents extraordinary challenges requiring heavy-duty equipment and extensive planning. This significant gap in the traditional narrative raises an obvious question. How could ancient builders achieve what still challenges modern engineers? Graham Hancock expands on this, proposing that an advanced global civilization once existed, now forgotten due to catastrophic events. Hancock points to archaeological sites worldwide, notably Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, an impressive temple complex dating around 12,000 years as evidence of this vanished civilization. Hancock suggests sophisticated knowledge wasn't entirely lost but passed down, eventually influencing early Egyptians. Researchers like John Anthony West and Dr. Robert Schoch echo this view, suggesting Egyptians didn't spontaneously develop incredible architectural, astronomical, and mathematical abilities overnight. Instead, these advanced capabilities were inherited from older civilizations, explaining why ancient Egyptian culture appears suddenly fully formed rather than gradually developing. Although mainstream Egyptology dismisses these theories as improbable or impossible, growing evidence makes them increasingly difficult to ignore. Consider the mysterious Osirian temple at Abydos. Constructed from massive granite blocks, this structure displays advanced precision matching what we've seen inside the Great Pyramid, skills supposedly beyond early Egyptians. Similarly, massive granite boxes at Saqqara's Serapeum show extraordinary precision challenging even modern machinery, let alone Bronze Age tools. These remarkable discoveries seriously challenge established historical narratives about ancient Egypt, hinting at hidden layers waiting for discovery. Is it possible mainstream archaeology has overlooked or deliberately ignored evidence pointing to older, highly advanced civilizations behind Egypt's most iconic monuments? If so, who were these mysterious builders, and how did they possess knowledge far beyond their time? After examining everything we've explored, the puzzling lack of inscriptions linking Pharaoh Khufu to the Great Pyramid, incredibly precise stonework seemingly far too advanced for simple tools, sealed chambers still waiting to be opened, and evidence hinting at much older origins, we're left questioning the official history we've always been taught. These fascinating discoveries suggest pyramid builders likely possess knowledge and techniques far more advanced than mainstream history credits them with. While this might seem unusual initially, each clue we find makes it more believable. Perhaps ancient Egyptians knew far more than we realize, and advanced techniques were simply lost over time. Or maybe these monuments were actually built by earlier civilizations whose skills were passed down or adapted by Egyptians later. But if these ideas are so intriguing, why does mainstream archaeology still hesitate to explore them fully? One reason is that accepting older, more advanced civilizations would mean drastically changing the story we currently accept. Historians, archaeologists, and entire countries have built identities and reputations around traditional timelines. Rewriting history books, museum exhibits, and deeply held beliefs isn't easy. For Egypt, acknowledging that its famous pyramids might predate their known civilization or might not be purely Egyptian creations touches sensitive issues of national pride and identity. by resisting deeper exploration into hidden chambers, ancient technologies, and alternative historical explanations. Mainstream archaeology may be unintentionally keeping important truths hidden beneath desert sands. Imagine if we discovered clear evidence beneath Egypt's desert of an advanced civilization forgotten by history. Such discovery wouldn't just change our view of Egypt, it could alter our entire understanding of human history, challenging everything we've assumed about our ancestors and incredible things they might have accomplished. Standing at the brink of these profound mysteries, we must ask ourselves, will archaeologists finally open these sealed doors and explore what's hidden inside, or will the Great Pyramid's secrets remain locked away, waiting for future generations brave enough to seek truth? For more ancient mysteries, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to join us as we continue exploring the fascinating stories history still has left to reveal. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time, stay safe.